everyone, so I've got a bloody tripod. It's crazy. I just can't get over it. It's unbelievable that I've got a tripod and I actually don't have to sit my camera on a printer and an ironing board and a camera because I'm hashtag poor as fuck. I did get a tripod for my birthday, which was on May the 14th. I turned 22. And most of you guys forgot it, so fuck you. Fuck you right now. Write it in your diaries for next year because I want to be getting birthday messages all day, every day, you get me? Okay, so today I'm going to be filming a Q&A video because I haven't filmed one of these in forever because nobody ever asked me questions. I understand why, I'm not that interesting. But I really wanted to film another one because it's been a while since I did them, and that is why the audio in my video is not very good because I'm using my phone to answer questions. I'm sorry, kill me later. I want to get to answering these first. I asked you guys on Instagram, and I also asked on a YouTube video that I filmed a while ago for you guys to send me in any questions that you had for me to answer, and that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I screenshotted the questions on my YouTube video, thingamajig, and I'm just going to go ahead and answer those ones first. Let me just clear my throat ready. The first question, this was actually one that someone sent me on Snapchat from a girl called Catherine, and she said, if you knew you were going to die tomorrow, what would you do that you wouldn't do normally? Well, for starters, if I knew that I was going to die tomorrow, I would shed tears because I don't want to leave this world yet. I would probably go to another country, which by the time I got there, I'd probably be dead. So that's a stupid answer. But I have never been to another country before, so if I knew I was going to die tomorrow, I would probably do that. I'd probably go to another country. I'd probably try and get to Europe. I would just I'd leave now. And then by the time I got there, I'd be dead, I think. Actually, would I be? No. Would I be? I don't know. I've never been overseas, so I don't know the time schedules. But I would probably go overseas or do something like that. If I wasn't to go overseas, I would probably, well, let's see. I'd probably go and rob a store and just take everything, because it's not like I could go to jail because I'd be dead, but then I'd spend my last night in jail. I'm a fast runner, it'll do. The next question is from Tara Emish. I'm not going to do that whole, if I butcher your name, I'm sorry, like this. I probably did. Is it hard to start a career and find a job? I don't know if she is specifically meaning in beauty or just in general. I don't know. I don't think it's hard to start a career necessarily. I think that you just have to have a vision of what it is that you want to do in your life and then go after it. For instance, not that beauty therapy is like my one and only job goal that I ever want in the future, but when I did decide to do it, I just pretty much put myself out there, went to beauty college, and then just applied for jobs straight out. I think it's not hard to get a job if you have the qualifications and experience. For instance, I have a qualification in beauty therapy, so it's really easy for me to get a job in beauty therapy in comparison to getting like an office job, which I've never worked in before. So I think it's not hard. I think that you just need to have a qualification in something, or at least have like good references or good past experiences. And next question is, what was your experience, oh this is from Tam Tai, what was your experience like when you first moved out of home? Well, this isn't actually the first time I've ever moved out of home in this apartment. I actually lived by myself in 2012, and I lived at my parents' old house for about 6 months by myself until I had to move out because I wasn't paying any rent. Sorry about it. My first experience actually moving out of home, like back then when I was living by myself, it was fine. I wasn't really like at home alone a lot, but like my mum would go to work, so I would have to like cook my own dinner and stuff like that sometimes when I was older, so that wasn't really a big issue for me. And at the time I had a boyfriend as well who came over and kind of kept me company, so it wasn't like lonely. But I'm a really independent person and I love being by myself sometimes, so I think living by myself and moving out of home was quite easy for me. Moving out into this apartment, which I've been living here for about a year and a half, that was pretty easy as well. I feel like it was just, I don't know, I didn't move very far from my hometown, so I guess that's why it wasn't that big of a deal. But I did feel a little lonely at first because it was like living in a completely new place by yourself, but it wasn't anything big deal. I just think that you have to kind of like be okay being by yourself if you're living by yourself, or even if you are living with other people. It's sort of like you just have to know how to cook and how to clean and how to do all that, unless you're just like me and you don't do any of that and you just get Maccas all the time and leave your dishes on the sink. Then you're right. I love living by myself. I would definitely not go back to living at home from here on. I just feel like living out of home and being able to do whatever it is that you want to do is great, and I definitely wouldn't change it for the world. Next question is from Brooklyn Heisreich. She wants to know, what got you into YouTube? Pretty much the thing that got me into YouTube was just watching YouTube videos. I discovered YouTube in like around 2009, and I think I was just, I don't know why, but I think I must have been looking up something to do with makeup because I had like pimples and I wanted to cover them. And I just found YouTube and I found all of these like beauty people, and I remember watching Audrey from Faffinet. She was the first person that I ever watched on YouTube, so that was really fun and exciting to kind of see all these people doing this weird thing that I had no idea about, and I just kept watching it. And then after like a couple of years I was like, should I start a channel? Should I not start a channel? And I was like, if I was on my deathbed and I looked back and I was like, oh, I didn't have a YouTube channel, I didn't even try it, I knew that I would regret it. So that's why I decided to give it a go. And I'm definitely really, really grateful that I did, because it's so fun. And by the way, I also hit 5K the other day, which is awesome. And I know it's not like a huge deal to some people, but I was like, 5K, that's pretty cool. Like, I'm like halfway there to 10K. Fucking meow. That's what happens when I'm hyper. I have no idea what I'm saying. Next question is from That HB. Do you find it hard competing on YouTube with people from the States? I don't really feel like I'm competing because I'm my own person. I'm from Australia, so if I was in the States, maybe it would be a different story, but I don't really feel like it's that difficult because, or that much of a competing thing, because I am in a completely different country and stuff like that. I think in general, like all in all, it is hard to kind of get noticed on YouTube these days because so many people are doing it. When I started my channel, I think I kind of started it at a bit of a bad time because people were starting to really get into it. And nowadays, if you were to start a channel now, I think it would be even harder because there are just so many people doing YouTube. But I don't really compare myself to other YouTubers just because, as I said, I'm from a completely different country. I find in Australia, like, and this is just personally because I guess I don't watch a lot of Australian YouTubers, but I feel like there aren't a lot of female Australian YouTubers that do more comedic videos. I know that there are some, I'm not trying to say I'm the only one, but I don't watch as many as I do from like Britain or America. I watch a lot of comedic people from there, but I don't watch a lot of people from here. So I guess I don't really watch other Australian YouTubers' videos and compare myself to theirs. But yeah, I don't really feel like it's that difficult, but all in all, I think it's hard to stand out, and that's just how it is, and that's how it's probably always going to be. So now I'm going to go onto Instagram and I'm going to go through the questions on there. So the first question is from IzzieBellBell _X12 blah, 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 blah. What are your tips on being good at makeup? Well, I wouldn't say I'm overly terrific at makeup because my eyelashes always come off, but I guess I'm okay at it, you know, like I can do a bit of a smoky look, as you can tell. I'd probably say being good at makeup is something that I've just learned through from YouTube. It's why I would never go to makeup school or makeup academy, because I feel like everything that I would learn there, I would learn on YouTube. Even things like special effects and stuff like that, you can learn on YouTube. Like everything is on YouTube, and there are so many good makeup artists on there, some of which are professional and went to like, you know, school. Others are just, you know, their own person, their own like boss. But I feel like nowadays it's so easy to just, you know, go on and look it up on YouTube, and that's what I always do whenever I watch beauty videos. I always just look at other people's videos and I'll watch their techniques and what they're doing and their products, and I just pretty much copy them, and it works okay because I look a lot better than what I do when I have nothing on my face, that's for show. The next question is from Beth. This question is from Beth for Beauty. If you only had to live with only 3 specific items of makeup only, what would they be? So I'm guessing like actual like products and brands as well, like actual specific products, not just like foundation or whatever. If I had to live with only 3 makeup items, first one that I would live with would be foundation. And I would probably, if I had to live with one foundation, God, it would be the Maybelline Superstay foundation, because I find that one, it has a really, really close color match when I'm tanned. It's also a really nice finish, like it's not matte but it's not dewy either. It's kind of like that satin natural finish, and it has pretty good coverage as well. And I also feel like it stays on all day, and you can kind of build it up to make it more full coverage or lighter, which would be good for days when I am broken out, and good for other days when I have like clear skin, which is never, so I would never have to do that. And it's also pretty like on the cheap side as well, so I wouldn't mind repurchasing it. So that would be the first item. Second item would be I want to say mascara, but sometimes I don't really care. Definitely brows, actually, like a brow gel of any color, because I do tweeze the sides of my brows off, so I need to fill them in pronto. So that is why I would probably pick brows. Mascara, I already have pretty like long eyelashes anyway, so that probably wouldn't make a big difference. And lip liner as well, so I can overdraw my lips and look like Kylie. Probably pick, I want to go with Max Whirl. Even though, to be honest with you, I've never used it before, just because I have one at the moment which is from Maybelline. It's in Rosewood and I really, really like it, and it's like that mauvey nude color, but it's not very opaque, so I feel like I'd go through it a little bit quicker. So I'd want something that was a bit more high quality. So I'd pick Max Whirl, even though I've never used it before, but I think that's what Kylie uses sometimes, and that's good enough for me. This question is from Jodie Emily. Have you got any more embarrassing stories to share with us? They make my day. Thank you. Well, let's see. I feel like any embarrassing stories I've mainly mentioned on this channel, like any really big ones. But if I had to pick one that's happened like maybe recently, actually, you know what? I have one that's funny. So anyways, I work at a day spa, and I don't normally get a lot of guys coming in, you know, to the day spa because people just don't do that here. Anyway, so I had this guy coming in. It was quite hot, and he came in and he wanted to get like a wax, and I was like, oh, you know, waxing him, whatever. We were kind of like chatting a little bit, and he sort of like worked away, but then he lived in my area, so I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, like, you know, whatever, just casually probably gonna be my next boyfriend, like, don't worry about it. But anyway, so I was giving him like a wax. He was having a back wax, by the way, not anywhere else, and we were kind of talking off and on and stuff like that. And I don't really like talking to guys when I'm at work because I'm dressed in the most horrible uniform of all time, and there's no way in hell I'm getting any in my uniform, let's just say that. And then he left, and I was like, oh, that guy was really hot. So I was trying to like look him up on Facebook, which is probably like illegal, but I just did it anyway. I couldn't find his Facebook name, so I was like, you know what I should do? I should get his number off of our computer system, and I should just get my friend to text him and be like, hi, you know, I was doing like, my friend was doing you know, a wax on you at work, and she thought you were really hot but didn't like, was too shy to say it. I like legitimately went to that. And some people were like, just like, don't do that, you're such a freak. And then other people were like, oh my god, you're so funny, do it. So I was kind of like, I ended up getting his phone number off, and then I told my friend to text him, and then like hours later she told me that she hadn't texted him because she was like, didn't want to get in trouble. And I was like, okay, fair enough, like it is a bit weird. But anyway, so I ended up finding him on Facebook eventually, and I added him, and he never added me. Mind you though, I don't think that he uses that Facebook anymore because he's never on anytime I've ever checked, but that was that. Hashtag forever alone. And another really quickly embarrassing story that I'll share is that one time I went into like Priceline to the pharmacy, and I was getting the contraceptive pill, and I didn't have a boyfriend, by the way. I was just getting it because I was on it, and the pharmacist was really attractive, so I ended up going onto Priceline and finding him in like little pharmacy, who are you, who is my pharmacist kind of section, and I added him on Facebook as well, and he never added me either. So. But once again, he hadn't been on for a very long time, so I think that's why he didn't add me, okay? Just shut up. The next question is from Tara Catherine. Tips on saving. Don't ask me, that's all I can say. I live by myself, and I work like a casual part-time job and stuff like that. And at the moment, I'm not getting paid from anything else other than my current income from work. So it can be a little bit difficult to, you know, kind of be financially stable and all that sort of stuff. But what I would probably say if you want to save is, A, if you're saving for something in particular, have a good idea of how much it is when you want to, you know, have the money saved by. If you're not just saving for anything and you're just saving money, you know, for something, have two different accounts. I think having like an account that all your money goes into, and then having a separate account that you can put money into is a really good idea. So have a separate account, maybe put away a certain amount of money every single time you get paid, put it into that account, and then it's there, and don't touch that account. I have like a separate account where if I want to use it, I have to transfer that money back over to my main account. So it's all a bit of a hassle, so I can't use that account and just walk around and like with a card or anything. It's just like a separate account, so I have to put money into it, and then I have to put it back into my savings when I want to use it. So it's a good idea to kind of put away money every time you get paid into that account, so that then you have it there, and then you can take that money and you can use it when you need to. And that's probably the best way to save. Other than that, just tie your hands behind your back, because I'm not very good at it. So that is it for this video. I hope that you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I really like doing Q&As, and I'd love to do more like random personal questions and answers next time. So if you have any questions for my next video, put them in the comments and then follow me on Instagram, because I will post a little Q&A one day eventually in the future. Do it. Please give it a thumbs up, like and subscribe, and I will see you all very, very soon in my next video. Toodaloo, motherfuckers.